But I swear to God, this college basketball every year is just insane. These kids go 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
It means everything to them. It means everything to their schools. I think college basketball fans are some of the worst fans in all of sports.
Because they're young.
No, it's not just that. It's just the way that they scream at the referees and all that other crap. It's ridiculous. And let's face it, if you're going to Kentucky, you're not going to school. You're going there to play basketball, and you're going there to one and done it. And John Calipari will probably end up losing 3 of those guys this year.
For sure.
And they'll have to go out and replace them, with some other guys who have NBA hoop fantasy dreams and all that other stuff. So I just say, to me, I don't know. I guess I like the way that the South Carolina kids have bought into the coach. The coach is a maniac.
Okay, well,
He's an
that's
absolute
a 7th seed
maniac.
in the Final Four, so you're right.
And the way he had the tears flowing down his eyes, yes, after winning, and they're going to the Final Four for the first time, them and Gonzaga. And do you realize that Oregon, the last time
I didn't realize
they went to the Final Four was the first time they had the Final Four.
It's like 80 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever it was.
So it's nice to have some fresh new blood in there. And, of course, you have the old standby North Carolina, who was great. What an ending for that game. But I go back to South Carolina, this guy, Frank Martin. He was out there at Kansas State. He brought them to, I think, an Elite Eight. He gets in the face of his team.
Oh, he does.
He's screaming at those kids. Those kids buy into it. They play defense. And, you take a look at a couple of their seniors. They just play with such great poise. And when they need a basket, they take it right to the hole. And they play a brand of basketball that is a little bit like West Virginia from the defensive standpoint.
Yep.
But they can actually shoot, and they make baskets in crucial spots. And how about the SEC? 2 teams now in the Final Four.
Yep.
They had obviously 3 teams in the Elite Eight, so a lot could be said about SEC basketball. And
you had 3.
Here we go.
You had 3. Edge of your seat over the course of the weekend. Edge of your seat games that you couldn't turn off the TV. Whether it was Florida, whether it was obviously Kentucky. Even though Kentucky took care of UCLA, everyone wanted to watch Ball against Fox, and Fox with 39 was great. Last night you got the best game of the weekend, 73-73 after Kentucky blows a 6-point lead, comes all the way back and makes 2 big threes late, and then you figure we're going to overtime, and that's the beauty of the tournament. This kid May has the ball in his hands,
yes,
and doesn't panic, doesn't rush it, doesn't give it up, calmly goes up from about 15 feet and knocks down the shot of his life. That kid ain't playing pro ball. That kid's not playing in Europe, most likely. That's a kid who's a really good basketball player who's going to have a job when he's done in college. But for the rest of his life, he will show that video, his kids, his grandkids, his buddies. It'll be looped on his phone. He made the shot to put one of the most storied programs, James Worthy, Michael Jordan, name them, right? This dude who you never heard of made the shot to put Carolina into the Final Four.
That's what it's all about,
That's the beauty of the tournament.
That is what it's all about. My man Frankie Isola.
Frank Isola.
I thought had the tweet of the weekend. I retweeted it this morning. I didn't see it last night. The only way to stop De'Aaron Fox is to put him in the triangle offense.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. And it's really what it's all about. It's the.
I was happy for Fox.
I'd like to sit here and say it's the purity of college basketball. Let's face it. There's nothing pure about it. This is all a money-making deal. These coaches make millions and millions of dollars. These kids basically are pawns in the game. They get nothing except their scholarships, but a lot of these kids only go for a year. So, there's a lot that doesn't smell right. It doesn't feel right about it. But the one thing you can't dispute is the fact that there's a lot of entertainment that goes along with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, in this particular Final Four, there aren't a lot of one-and-dones like there could have been based on some other teams getting in.
Sure.
But look, you got the Final Four. It's Saturday.
So, all right. So
we have all week to get into that. You got to favor Gonzaga and Carolina.
I know that, but I am rooting for South Carolina.